Analyst Brian Sobel. Brian, what did you think about Donald Trump going on Dr. Oz and then releasing that one-page report? It all seems so staged to me, with Dr. Oz and Donald Trump both pretending that this was all spontaneous. Why can't he just come out with his records and let reporters and doctors examine them?
You know, it's a good question, Frank. I just don't understand this lack of transparency on both sides of the aisle, as it were. You know, both the Republican candidate and the Democratic candidate. It just makes no sense to me. These are almost non-starters, and every time they do this kind of thing, it feeds into that media cycle, and frankly, some of this actually, in Hillary's case, affecting her polling.
Well, yeah, let's talk about Clinton for a second. How big an issue is health here for her? She has released some information about her health. She did so today, but there have been a lot of questions raised, especially after she came down with a pneumonia and then initially said she didn't think it was important to tell reporters about it. How much could this hurt her, and will the release of her information today put some of these questions about her health to rest?
Well, she's had a very bad couple of days in national polling and state-by-state polling, which we always talk about being of paramount importance. And so, you know, this health issue is important. And instead of really coming out, being transparent and saying, by the way, we have had lots of presidents in American history who have had health issues that they had to overcome, like all Americans. This idea of hiding it feeds into both the Trump narrative about her transparency, but also what she's been battling against, which is that people think she's not trustworthy.
And Brian, stay with us for just a minute. I want to share a couple of polls, these new polls. Nationally, Trump has cut a 10-point deficit to just 5 points over the last month, according to Quinnipiac University. And in a couple of key swing states now, Trump is leading. A Bloomberg poll of Ohio has Trump ahead by 5, and he has the same 5-point lead in the if the third-party candidates are included. And in Florida, a CNN or ORC poll has Trump ahead 47 to 44% among likely voters. That is within the poll's margin of error. So, Brian, what do you make of these latest poll numbers? Start with the national poll, and then we'll talk about the closer swing states.
Two things to consider. One is that at this point in the campaign, where we're getting very, very close and very close to the first debate, the bottom line is that these polls are going to tighten, and based on events are going to, like an accordion, expand and contract. And so I would caution people against making too much of the polling, except when you watch a trend, and if there's a trend, say, around a medical issue or that sort of thing, that becomes of greater interest, because some of these stories will be carried all the way through to the election. And in the case of Hillary Clinton, she has to overcome it. And that's on a national basis, Julie. And if you take it on a state-by-state basis, where the races are really going to occur, then her camp has a right to be concerned, because her numbers are slipping a little bit.
And what do you think is attributed to those slipping numbers as that race tightens? Do you think over the last couple of days it's had a lot to do with the health concerns around Hillary Clinton? Yes,
I think her health concerns, I think, you know, all of the other issues that she's been just dragging along, you know, are affecting people at this point. And we're going to see more of that, I think, as time goes on. And so I know, I'm guessing anyway, that she is very, very eager to get back on the campaign trail. And remember, Trump's had these kinds of weeks, too.
All right, and we'll leave that as the last point. We'll have much more with you coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, Brian.
Absolutely.
Thank you.